Hey guys, before this episode starts, I actually have a couple things that I need to get across to you guys. And it's going to be quite long. So if you would like to skip straight to the episode, then you can go ahead and click the annotation right here to go to the actual video itself. But there's a few things I need to get across to you guys right now. So here we go. There are a few changes that are going to be happening for the next 3 episodes of the project, the final 3 episodes of the single player playthrough. Number 1. This is the first episode where I'm going to be doing the 3-character format, where I show off 3 characters per episode and each character gets their own segment. Number 2, this is the last episode where I'm going to be doing this game, or at least playing the single player mode I mean, on normal mode. For the next couple episodes, I'm going to be increasing the difficulty every time. And I'm also going to be increasing the amount of lives I have each time by 1. Because, trust me, I will need these lives. Especially because I'm going to be doing the last single-player playthrough on very hard mode. Which I've dedicated some of the best characters in the game to. Just so it's not as bad or anything. Although, I imagine I'll still get a ton of game overs on very hard mode. Because it's difficult. And number 3... this is the first episode where I'm going to be using the Super Smash Bros. Wiki, known as simply Smash Wiki, to explain all the characters, because in previous episodes, I've basically just gone off the whim about talking about these characters, but I feel that I should probably explain these characters a little bit better, and I feel like the best way to do it is to actually use the Smash Wiki, because the Smash Wiki has many different Wikipedia pages on all the different characters in the Smash Bros. Universe, including pages on how Smash Bros. Works, how tournament style works, how tier list works, and all these great articles. So, with that being said, I do not take any credit to the information I share with you that is Smash Bros. Related in this episode and in the next couple episodes. In fact, I will leave you guys a link in the description below to the actual Smash Wiki so you can check out this information for yourself if you guys are curious. But yeah, that's basically just, that's all I really wanted to talk about. And yeah, hopefully that wasn't too confusing, and that's pretty much it. Let's head straight into the video. Enjoy. Hello everybody, this is Hypercool64, and after a very long explanation about how these videos are going to be changing a little bit, welcome back to Let's Play Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. In the last episode, which was around, I think, 10 months ago, we played through the single-player mode as Link, and now it's time to play through single-player mode again as 3 different characters. And first up on the roster of characters for this episode is Luigi, and I'm going to go ahead and go over his in-game description, basically what is said in the actual game itself. So, here we go. Luigi. Though often hidden in his older brother Mario's shadow, Luigi is in reality very popular. Taller than Mario, Luigi also jumps higher. Although he didn't appear in Super Mario 64, despite a ton of rumors on the internet, in Mario Kart 64 he performed to the best of his ability. For one who always seems to be in the background, he has many fans who eagerly await his appearance. I think the year of Luigi can definitely support that. But anyway, Luigi is basically the first clone to ever appear in the Smash Bros. Series. He's an unlockable character in the original Smash Bros. And every other Smash Bros. Games after that. And I imagine he'll be unlockable in Smash 4 as well. But Luigi is basically a carbon copy of Mario. He's almost identical to his older brother, with a few changes, however. For instance, his fireball is not affected by gravity, and it's also green, obviously. His down B attack, which is called the Luigi Cyclone, which is similar to the Mario Tornado, instead of hitting enemies constantly with that attack and doing combos, what the Luigi Cyclone instead does is basically just do direct attack to enemies, just really strong direct attacks. But probably his biggest change is his up B attack, which is similar in animation, but if you hit enemies directly with Luigi's up B attack, you will do something called a Super Jump Punch, where he does 25% damage to your opponent if it's a direct hit. And it's a very powerful attack if you can execute it correctly. However, if it's an indirect attack, it will only cause 1% damage to the player, or the opponent, I mean, and it barely phases them. So you really gotta time the up B attack correctly if you really want to send a powerful attack on him. Other than that, I think Luigi jumps a little bit higher, and I think he's a little bit more, I can't tell if he's more slippery. I know more slipperier. I don't know what you would say, but whatever. I think Luigi's traction is about the same. He's... What else is different? I think that's pretty much it. I think the only thing I can say is that his dashing A is basically just him flailing his arms for some reason. I don't know why, but it is. But anyway, that's Luigi for you, and he's a pretty good character in my opinion. Although for tournament play, he's actually one of the worst characters. According to the current tier list for Super Smash Bros., which was created by the 64 back team, he's actually one of the lowest placed characters on the tier list. He is currently tied with Link for 10th and 11th place. And according to the Smash Bros. Wiki, it says that Luigi is ranked so low because of the fact that he's kind of floaty and also his awkward physics. Which, honestly, I would kind of associate awkward physics with the entire game, because, honestly, the Smash Bros. Engine is a little bit finicky at times, but those are the most common reasons why Luigi isn't really used that much in tournament play, and why, when most people play as Luigi, they don't tend to win, because that's one of the contributing factors to tier list, is how many times the character wins, and how the character matches up against other characters. But that's basically Luigi for you. Again, despite the fact that he's not good in tournament play, I do actually like him, and ironically, I actually think this is the best incarnation of him in the entire Smash Bros. Series. Because I haven't played Brawl in a while, so I don't know if I could say that, but I could definitely say I think this incarnation is better than Melee. I did not like Luigi in Melee. I thought he was too floaty. I thought his jump was way too stiff. I don't know. I just feel whenever I play as him, I just don't do the best or something. I don't know why. And one thing to note is that this is definitely where Luigi is definitely a more carbon copy of Mario. Like, this is the game where Luigi is more of a carbon copy than any game in the series. Like, in future installments, they definitely do a better job at differentiating Luigi, like, from his older brother Mario. But in this game, other than the few changes, he's pretty much a carbon copy. Right now, we're going through bonus stages as Luigi, Jigglypuff, and Samus. Those are the 3 characters for this episode. We are playing this mode again on normal mode, but that's going to change in the next episode, as I'm going to be playing this game on hard mode. And then for the final episode, I'm doing it on super hard mode. Lord help me now. Anyway, because I really have nothing else to talk about, I might as well talk about what I have been doing recently. Very recently, I've actually been doing some chores around the house, and I've been saving up my money, and I actually saved up 60 bucks so I can buy Mario Kart 8. So I have that now, finally, and I got it before July 31st, so I was able to take advantage of the free deal with Mario Kart, where if you buy Mario Kart 8 and you have a Club Nintendo account, you get a free game. And I got Wind Waker HD, by the way. That's the free game I got. And I've been liking Mario Kart 8. I think it's a really fantastic game. I like the courses, I like the music, I like how the game looks. When you look at the character models, they definitely aren't the best character models I've seen in the Mario series, but these are definitely the best character models we've ever gotten in the Mario Kart series, and they're still pretty good. But yeah, the music's great, I like how it looks, I like the tracks, although I do notice that the way the cards sort of handle are a little bit different from Mario Kart 7 in the sense that the drift is kind of, I don't know, it's not as tight, I feel. But other than that, the control is still great, and I enjoy online mode too, so Mario Kart 8, great game. Also, I've been enjoying Wind Waker HD, which this is the first time I've ever purchased Wind Waker, which is kind of the reason why I got Wind Waker HD, but yeah, I've really been enjoying it. Wind Waker HD is definitely fantastic. I just finished the basically the first dungeon in the game, which was Dragon Roost Cavern. And that was pretty good. I had fun with it. I was definitely really confused what I was supposed to do on the first boss, but I managed to find it out, so whatever. But anyway, guys, let's move on to the next character in this episode, and that is Samus. So I shall go over her in-game description right now. So, here we go. Samus Aran is the toughest bounty hunter in the galaxy. Using a special suit powered by the technology of the bird people known as the Chozo, which allows her to execute daring acrobatic feats, Samus pursues the airborne life form Metroid throughout the universe. And according to this game, according to Smash Brothers, she's been in 3 games, which consist of Metroid, Metroid 2: Return of Samus, and Super Metroid. I'm not big in the Metroid series. I was about to say Samus series for some reason. The Metroid series. So I'm not quite sure if she was in any more cameos before Smash Bros., but I think that she was in 3 games prior to Smash Bros. I think. I could be wrong. You Metroid fans could probably correct me in the comments, but whatever. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Pikachu is the dumbest. Pikachu's AI in single-player mode is probably the dumbest AI, regardless of difficulty. Look at that! She didn't even... or not she, or maybe it's he or she, but I'm just gonna say he didn't even try to use his up B attack. And when he tries to use his up B attack sometimes, and look, I got 10 bonuses because of that. When he tries to use his up B attack, he tends to go off and into a bottomless pit for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, I should probably go over Samus's abilities. Samus is sort of according to the Smash Brothers Wiki, he's sort of a heavy, or not he, she, my bad. I probably just offended a lot of Metroid fans. She is a heavy yet very floaty character, and I don't really notice the heaviness, but I can definitely notice the floatiness of her. She definitely has a lot of different weapons in her arsenal, such as her bombs. She can use her charge shot. She can use her I forgot what it was called. It's that beam thing she uses to grab people. I forgot what it's called. But it's her grab move. But it can grab people from somewhat long distance, kind of like Link's grabbing move. And then her up B move is her screw attack. And yeah, that's basically her in a nutshell. She's, in my opinion, she's a pretty good character for casual play. But in terms of tournament play, however, she's actually the lowest ranked character in the current tier list for this game. I'm not joking. And one of the big reasons is due to the fact that she can't pull off a 0 to death combo via natural combos. Meaning that she basically can't start a combo where the opponent basically can't get out of that combo and they basically die right at the beginning of the match. I think that's what it means. I could be wrong. I'm sorry. But I think that's what it means. So that's one of the big reasons. And also mainly her lack of combo attacks. And she's the only character who can't do 0 to death combos. Oh crap, I spilled some root beer. Oh well. Yeah, I decided to grab soda before this episode just so my voice doesn't get sore during this episode. Because I've noticed that now whenever I do commentaries, if I do commentaries for a very long... Samus, what were you doing there? I have no idea what I was doing there. I think I was waiting for board the platform. Or waiting for board the platform. That was great grammar. Anyway. I grabbed something to drink because I noticed now whenever I talk a lot in these Let's Play videos, if I talk for way too long, my voice tends to get sore. So that's why I grabbed a drink, so my voice doesn't get sore as often. I love your beer, especially Mug. Mug is awesome. Anyway, actually, originally, fun fact, this is, I can't remember which take on this episode it is, but I actually did, originally, there was another take I actually did on this episode for all three of these characters, but because of the fact that the episodes are old and they were on a laptop that I can't get access off of, I decided to re-record this episode. Now, honestly, these playthroughs I think were better than what I did in previously, I think, except for one thing, which I'll get into later. But yeah. So this is Luigi's Board the Platform stage. It's pretty standard, not too difficult. You shouldn't have trouble with it. As long as you know how to angle Luigi's up B move, you should be okay. But yeah, that's pretty much Luigi. So yeah, we have done Luigi. We haven't done. We've played as Luigi. We've played as Samus, which means that the final character we have to show off in this episode is Jigglypuff. So, with us completing Luigi's Board the Platform stage, it's now time to go over Jigglypuff. So let's go ahead and go over her character. So here's her in-game description. And you know what? Because she's a Pokemon, maybe we should talk like how the Pokemon Dex, like in the anime, would talk or something. Because I did used to, even though I'm not that big of a Pokemon fan, I did actually used to watch the Pokemon anime, actually, like, more like later seasons. I never really watched the first season of the show. But, you know what? I'm going to talk like that. So here we go. Jigglypuff, the balloon Pokemon with the big round eyes. It sings a soothing melody, saying those that hear it to sleep. When mad, it puffs itself up. As a balloon Pokemon, its body is light, weak, and easy to knock away. And the only game she was in at that point was Pokemon Red and I barely missed that. What the frick? That was weird. Yeah, there we go. I screwed that up. So I'm probably going to have to show off that stage at the end of the episode so I can show how I did properly. But anyway, the only game she was in at this point was Pokemon Red and Blue, or Green and Blue if you lived in Japan. No, Green and Red. It was Green and Red, my bad. I don't play Pokemon, I'm sorry. Anyway, Jigglypuff is one of the other 4 secret characters in this game. She is a very, very light character, and she's, according to the wiki, she's apparently considered the easiest one to unlock. Probably due to the fact that, she's probably really easy to defeat because she's very lightweight. But yeah, Jigglypuff very lightweight character. Her attributes are similar to Kirby's in the sense that she has sort of low stamina. But of course, she does have some different attacks, such as... I think her jumping attacks are a little bit better than Kirby's. I think. I'm not quite sure. It's been a while since I've actually played as Kirby, so... I'll probably have to compare that when I actually play as Kirby in another single-player playthrough, which I will be doing for very hard mode, by the way. Spoiler alert. That makes sense? I don't know. Anyway, similar attributes to Kirby, excepting the fact that she's actually on a lower tier than Kirby. I think Kirby is one of the higher-tiered characters in the current Smash Bros. Tier list. Jigglypuff, however, is higher than Samus and Luigi. She is currently ranked at number 8 on the tier list, which makes her to be 2/3 of the way in the tier list. So she's not that bad of a character. She's pretty decent. I think she's pretty decent again. She definitely got a huge buff in Melee, that's for sure. In fact, she's considered one of the best characters in Melee because of her gigantic buff. And then she got nerfed incredibly in Brawl, as we all know. Anyway, one of her big signature attacks is her rest ability, which is what happens when you press up B, or no, it's not up B, it's down B. When you press down B, you do a rest attack, and if you can time it just right, if you can be, I guess, point-blank range from the enemy, you can do a very, very powerful attack where it causes a ton of damage to the player, and it basically just sends enemies flying up in the game. It's considered actually one of the most powerful moves in the entire game, but it's also really hard to execute. Another one of her signature moves is her sleeping ability, which you activate when you use her up B move. And no, it's actually, and fun fact actually, because the fact that her up B move is actually her singing ability, which causes people to fall asleep, she doesn't actually have any recovery moves other than the fact that she can jump high. So that's one thing to keep in mind. I believe she's one of the only characters in the game that doesn't really have a proper up B recovery move, to be completely honest. Anyway, now it's Metal Mario, and one of her best attacks is definitely her down A move in the air, because as you can see, if you do it right, you can cause a ton of damage to any of your opponents, as you can see right here. Like, major combos. It's insane. Again, she's not the highest in terms of tier list, and she's not the best in terms of tournament play, but in tournament play, she is considered better than Samus and Luigi, so whatever. I do consider her to be a pretty good character in the game. And as you can see, I'm doing pretty good with her, because as you can see, I still have 3 lives on her. So, you would think that this was, you know, I've been doing pretty good with Jigglypuff. Also, epic hit move, by the way. Or epic hit, I guess. You would think that I'd be doing pretty good with Jigglypuff. That is not the case, because, ladies and gentlemen, I just was doing horrible while I was playing as Jigglypuff. Like, look right there! There was a bomb right there that I noticed earlier, and I didn't get out of the way of. That was just so embarrassing. And then, we have this stage, where, for some odd reason, I mistaked her up B move for being recovery. Frick me. It was against the AI, which is probably the easiest AI in the single-player playthroughs. And then finally, we have this stage where... Just watch. I got my butt handed to me. And thus, ladies and gentlemen, we have the first game over of the playthrough. My playthrough of Jigglypuff was just horrendous. Again, I will have the single-player playthroughs available at the end of the video for you guys to go watch. Or there'll be links to the individual single-player playthroughs so you guys can go watch it. But my playthrough with Jigglypuff was just horrendous. It was terrible. I really had a miserable time playing as Jigglypuff. Which is ironic, because she's technically better in terms of tournament play, but yet I had more trouble playing as her during single-player playthrough than I did with Samus and Luigi. It's kind of weird. But that's not the worst part. That's not the worst part. You want to know the worst part about this playthrough? You want to know what it is? Even though I was doing a horrible job playing as Jigglypuff in this playthrough, it was the one playthrough where I took no damage on the race to the finish stage. Oh my gosh, it's just like a slap to the face, because it's like, hey, you have a terrible playthrough, but at least you did good on race to the finish, right? But it was on the playthrough that you did horrible on, so it's like, ugh. And the playthroughs I did do good on, I didn't get the no damage no damage bonus, so yeah. Absolute irony right there. But ladies and gentlemen, I really have nothing else to talk about in terms of this video itself, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about other things, such as something that's sort of been on my mind recently that I just need to get out there, because, to be honest, this has kind of been pissing me off for kind of the last few days, and I wanted to talk about it, but first off, I'm going to take a drink. Alright. So, you guys all know about the fact that YouTube has tons of advertisements on videos that either have content ID claims or on videos that have ad revenue on them. Well, I've been watching, I'm obviously always on YouTube, and very, very recently, in fact, over the past 3 weeks, there's been this one set of commercials that's always been playing on pretty much every single YouTube video I've been playing. And that's been basically a commercial about the fact that you shouldn't smoke tobacco, or you shouldn't be taking tobacco or anything. And it was a advertisement for a website called therealcost.gov. And just to be clear, everybody, I'm not against anybody who smokes. I personally don't smoke myself. In fact, I would prefer that people don't smoke because of the the damages they can do to your body. But I'm personally not against anybody who smokes. If you smoke in moderation, you know what, whatever. I'm not going to go against you. I'm not going to say it's good for you, but I'm not going to go against you for that. And for some weird reason, those commercials are pretty much the only commercials I've been seeing on YouTube as of late. Other than a few times, every time I watch a YouTube video, that one set of, like, at least one of those tobacco commercials have been appearing on every single video over and over and over and over again. I mean, I understand getting the word out about the fact that tobacco is bad for you and you probably shouldn't smoke it. And again, I don't smoke tobacco. I don't go against anyone who does, but I don't do it personally. But the fact that they keep playing those commercials over and over again just downright pisses me off. It makes me forget about the message they're going for, because of the fact that they're playing the commercials over and over again, and it just gets absolutely repetitive after a while. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's just me, and again, I understand that them getting the word out about the fact that tobacco is bad for you, but they've been doing this for like 4 freaking weeks now, and it's getting pretty freaking ridiculous in my opinion. It's just, ugh. But you know what? Whatever. I need something to talk about. I wanted to get out of my system, so let's actually get on to the last 2 stages of the game. I'm playing as Luigi for this section of the playthrough because of the fact that Luigi pretty much I pretty much did the best with Luigi in terms of playthrough stuff. And I actually got the best score with Luigi as well, so that's good. Actually, there was actually something I actually forgot to talk about in, before this episode actually started that I meant to talk about, and that is the fact of, yes, I will be leaving links at the end of the video as annotations and in the description below where you can actually go check out the individual playthroughs for all 3 of these characters. Now, keep in mind, those individual playthroughs will not have commentary over them. It's just going to be those individual playthroughs without commentary. And the reason why I'm going to do that is just for people who want to see how I did on every single character individually. So that's the reason why I'm doing it. But, yeah. We are now done with the second to last stage in the game. And ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to take on Master Hand as Luigi. And that was a terrible tongue roll. I'm sorry about that. Also, Luigi's just like, how do you stop this crazy thing? Stop this crazy thing! What the help me! Stop the crazy thing! Ah. Anyway, Master Hand. I was gonna say a pun, but I decided against it. Anyway, Master Hand. In terms of fighting Master Hand as Luigi, I personally think that Luigi does a pretty good job fighting Master Hand here. There's not really many different... Well, actually, there is actually only really one combo that you want to use when fighting Master Hand as Luigi, and a good amount of characters. And that is the down... when you're in the air, pressing down A. Because of the fact of, whenever you press down A on Luigi and a good amount of characters, you tend to do that spin attack in the air. It causes a ton of damage to Master Hand. So that's a move I definitely recommend using on Master Hand if you want to get this done very, very quickly. Like, look at that. I did so much damage to that guy. It's insane. And it's even it's even better with Jigglypuff, because Jigglypuff's down A move in the air is just relentless on enemies. It's just freaking crazy. So yeah, I would definitely recommend using the down A move in the air when fighting Master Hand here. At least when you're playing as Luigi. and Mario, and Jigglypuff, and a bunch of other characters. Because a bunch of other characters have a similar move like that. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have beat Master Hand, and we are done with this single-player playthrough. And thus, we are done playing through the single-player mode on normal mode. Which means next episode I'm going to be doing on a hard mode. Lord help me now. Okay, so here's my final score for Luigi. I did pretty well. I went through the entire playthrough as Luigi without dying, which is great, or at least getting a game over at least. Here's the score of Samus. Not as good, but still pretty decent. I also did not go... I also went through Samus's playthrough without getting a game over. And then we have Jigglypuff, which had the worst score. Just over 500,000 points. Although one thing to note is that you actually don't get penalized for actually getting a game over in this game, unlike other games in the series, which I actually didn't know until this playthrough, which is kind of interesting. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, with us completing this playthrough as 3 other characters, being Luigi, Samus, and Jigglypuff, thus ends this single-player playthrough. For this episode, anyway. And now we're going through the credits again. So yeah, that is it for this single-player playthrough, ladies and gentlemen. Overall, I think... Other than Jigglypuff, I think I did pretty well in this episode. Luigi I did pretty well on. Samus I feel pretty confident on. Jigglypuff, I don't know what we're wrong. Because, and also, one thing to know is that in my originally recording on this game, I did actually go through this mode without dying with Jigglypuff. So I don't know what happened here. Because... Again, Jigglypuff's a good character. I do think Jigglypuff's a good character in this game and Melee, but I just had the worst luck with Jigglypuff in this run, and I don't know why I did. Again, the big disadvantage with Jigglypuff is the fact that she has very, very low stamina, so you want to make sure that you guard very often and you dodge very often. That way you don't get hit. In fact, dodging and guarding is something that you want to do often, especially in the harder difficulties. And trust me, I will be guarding and dodging a lot more in the harder difficulties. Oh man, I will. Oh man. Especially very hard mode. Oh man. Very hard mode is going to be relentless. I just know that right now. I know for a fact that I'm going to get a game over on very hard mode. I'm just going to say that right now. There is no way I'm going to go through very hard mode without getting a game over, even on 5 lives. So... wish me luck on that, but next episode we're going to be doing hard mode, so yeah. And here are all the end screens for Luigi, Jigglypuff, and Samus. Pretty cool. Luigi's is... I don't know what Luigi's is. It looks like Luigi is sort of punching Mario or something. I don't know why. Jigglypuff, it's kind of interesting. And then Samus's is just awesome. So, whatever. Well, with that being said, guys, it is time for... Yes, this is a new segment on these videos that I'm also going to be doing called Boss Stage Redo, where whenever I basically mess up on a special stage, I am basically just going to show it off at the end of the video just to show that I actually did it correctly, just because I can. I know this isn't really necessary, but I felt like this was kind of needed. Also, that was an 8-bit rendition of the Challenger Approaching theme from Smash Bros., which I made in Family Checker. Hey! So yeah. That's pretty much it for this episode. I really have nothing else to talk about other than the fact of... yeah, that's pretty much it. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and close out this episode. So with us completing the Board the Platform stage for Jigglypuff. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please check out my other content. I almost said conference for some reason. Follow me on Miiverse, Twitter, and Twitch. And next time we meet, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take on the single player mode. Yeah, in hard mode. What is up with my grammar and my speech? I'm just gonna end it off. Until next time, guys. I'm Hypercool64. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next episode.